Patrick, that's your cue.
What cue?
Okay, I'll do it. Episode 7, Talking Guys. I'm Will, joined today by Patrick and Seth. What's up, dudes?
What's up?
How you doing?
Nice timing.
Yeah, I kind of thought that you were going to do the intro there, Patrick.
I thought you guys told me I wasn't allowed
I told
to
you you
because
should because it was
I
super
was weird.
personable. But
Yep.
you know,
Maybe
whatever.
next week.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I mean,
If he's here
time.
next week.
What does that mean? I can't get laid off right now. I got a job, guys.
Side topic. I just want to say, Pat, you're looking nice with the shirt, man. I'm liking the decision for the button up, bro.
I like yours too. I think it's looking pretty fashionable. We obviously have somebody.
Didn't get the memo.
I'm on your other side.
Somebody that didn't quite get the memo, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm all about the relax, man.
you know,
It's a
shout out,
Sunday.
This was a gift from my good friend Alex Lafayette.
This also was a gift from Alex. It was a coincidence.
Yeah.
This is a T-shirt I bought. I don't remember where from, but it was not a gift.
Well,
Was it a gift to yourself though? That's kind of what buying things are.
You could consider it a gift to myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And secondly, Will, the hell with your haircut, bro? Where did you get that? Is that
That's
legal?
That's a
Did
trade
you get
secret.
approved by the law to go out and get your haircut? Okay.
Actually,
Does anyone know the hotline we need to call?
Yeah.
It's a good thing you bring that up because we can use that to transition to the first topic. Certain states this past weekend have reopened. Well, I say reopened. They're in the transitioning period of reopening certain businesses. Texas is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, I believe malls, restaurants, salons, and churches, I think, are the included businesses right now that can open, I believe, at like 25% capacity.
So what you're telling me is the non-essentials are back on the road?
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Not good.
I looked it up, though. So Texas is one of the states that has slowly started to reopen their businesses. I believe there's 18 or 19 states that have elected to wait. I believe Louisiana is one of them. I think you guys have to wait till May 15th, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the date.
And they made it stricter. Oh.
What do you mean?
About time.
They made it mandatory that everybody that is an employee of a job that is currently open must wear masks, and then the rest of the citizenry is supposed to wear masks.
It is
they're
recommended.
Not really enforcing it.
It's recommended.
So
they're trying not to infringe, I feel like. And by doing that, though, they did tell employers that they should, highly recommend, if not enforce, that they wear them when they come into their business. So it's kind of like getting around, we don't want to tell you what to do, so we're going to tell somebody else to tell you what to do. It's kind of amusing, honestly.
So that's why I shaved my beard off, because it was highly uncomfortable wearing those stupid masks. Like, dude,
right?
It pushes the beard into your face, and it feels like you're growing your beard every day. Like, when you first start growing a beard and it like itches like crazy, and you just want to itch your face all the time. It was like that.
No, I don't. That doesn't happen to me.
9, 10 hours. I was like, I'm not doing this. So even though I look like a child and not a real man anymore, I decided that I would. I don't have the jawline that he does. It's like.
Wait, who is he?
Nobody knows what my jawline looks like.
It's like. I'm not saying look bad. I'm just disappointed. Really, it'll grow back. Once this is over, I'll grow it back.
I gotcha. Though, what is your thoughts and or opinions on the states reopening? Do you think it's too soon?
Hell no. I'm taking a firm. I'll let Seth speak after this. I'm taking a firm ground. Hell no. They need to open them all back up. It's a bunch of baloney. If you go look at statistics and everything, it's looking more and more like it's not really doing what they said it was going to do. And it's definitely not stopping it. All it is slowing the spread. And with the current infrastructure and everything that's been built up and created in the last month and a half, there's just the hospitals in the majority of America will be able to handle, even if more people contract it, which they will, because there's no way to stop it. a disease. They don't have a cure for it. They can't stop it. There's no way to stop it. You could have everybody hide in a house and it still wouldn't stop it. So really all they're doing is just destroying our economy and getting us further and further in national debt, which is going to destroy us later on in life and put a crippling weight on our shoulders as the next generation coming up that's working to try and handle this awful financial mess that our government has. So that's my thoughts and opinions. Go for it, Seth.
Well, all right. So pretty much in agreement. I know I've already stated, and I still firmly believe that America took a half-ass approach to it and have completely screwed up, the economy. They should have went all out on it or not at all. So since they went right in the middle, they might as well just go ahead and open up. Like, just do it, and we will deal with it like we should have in the first place. So we took a great hit to our economy, and for nothing, for not much of anything.
30 million people jobless.
Yeah. And I mean, I would have been a full advocate for a complete shutdown for like 2 weeks or whatever it took to, really, and just take the hit there, because then it's for a benefit. But they didn't stop the spread.
But if you're going to do a complete shutdown, though, I mean,
you have to do a
basically hospitals, you are
shutdown.
closing everything, including grocery stores, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was my thought on that, because you've got the social distancing is what they're pushing, right? So you want to do 6 feet, and you don't want to do large crowds. And now a lot of businesses are keeping track of the amount of customers or members, guests, whatever you want to call them, inside the store, right? You can have X amount of people in there. Weeks leading up to that, though, even though we were in lockdown, they canceled sporting events. They canceled music events because they didn't want large amounts of people to gather together. Well, whenever you're opening and you're keeping open the grocery stores, is that not a large gathering of people that are close together?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you're right. If they're going to lock everything down, aside from basically, because I don't think you can close hospitals.
Right. No.
Right. But you close businesses. You announce,
you give them time to prepare.
Yeah, the president goes on and says, hey,
say, this is
we're going to lock everything down. Yeah. This is the date. You need to have everything that you need for the next 2-3 weeks, because on this date, stores are closing completely. You would then have to stay inside. And maybe that would have prevented the spread, or at least slowed it down significantly more.
And that would have been worth it.
Yeah.
But since they didn't, they, shut down some stuff, but not other stuff. They might have slowed the spread a little bit, but not much, because people are still getting it like crazy. People are still going to the store. I mean, traffic, even though, like Patrick said, we've gotten more strict, traffic is insane. Yeah. Like, it's just like it was when everything was running perfect. So
yeah, I don't know if they've given you guys the statistics, but about 3 weeks ago, so management had at my job had taken a bunch of the associates, and we were in the back, and we were having a small meeting, and they mentioned every one of us being associates would come in contact between 12 to 1,500 people per day, individually, per day.
Right.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So you have a high probability of getting it. I mean, it's like there's no way around it. No matter how many safety precautions you put in place, no matter if you tell them to wash their hands all the time, put gloves on, wear masks. I mean, it's just it's an actual, how would you put this? It's an actual systematic like impossibility to stop it the way that they said we are going to. So really what I feel like, even though this is what they said, this whole entire thing was just to try and slow it down till they could build things up. They had no intention of shutting everything down, and they already knew by facts and science that there was no way they were going to stop this. So all they were doing for the last month and a half was trying to bide time to give our health system time to create the stuff we need to at least fight it. But they didn't tell us that. Instead, they just said, oh, do this. No, if you don't. No. It's just I guess you can look at it though worldwide compared to a lot of other places. America has still done a really good job for the amount of cases we've had and the amount of deaths we have. And you can go look into all sorts of stuff, but they're saying that a lot of these deaths, that these the people that have died, half of them there's a
Have
ton, well, not
pre-existing
even half of them.
conditions.
Yeah, like I literally watched a video yesterday of a government official in, I think it was Michigan, that came out and said, basically, literally, she said verbatim, somebody asked a question and they pulled her up onto the podium and had her answer it, and they said, anybody who dies with COVID, even if they, like, say we're about to die from a cancer, it's still a COVID death. That's how they're doing it right now. That's the label. So you could be dying from stage 4, prostate cancer, and you got COVID and you died, and it's still COVID that killed you, not the prostate.
What
So
if
that's what makes
you
those numbers.
What if you die in a car accident while you have the virus?
Still a death of COVID. No joke. That's what that's literally what she was saying.
And I know we won't hang too much on this topic because I know Seth's got a couple we're going to get to. But I just want to say I don't know if it was the Ukraine. There was another country. I don't remember the exact country it was, but it was over in the east somewhere. And what they were doing is, so they were actually taking the numbers of people that had died from COVID, and if you died, they were then considering that person was then cured of the virus. So whenever they bring the stats up of people that were no longer they no longer held the virus or they were cured, they were counting people that had died as people that had been cured.
That's 200 IQ plays right there.
That's, I mean, technically they no longer have it.
Cured, and
they no longer have the virus.
Contract it again. So
I mean, you got to take the number away at some point. If they're no longer there, they're no longer there.
But I mean, and then the whole other part of it is that the testing, they're not half the people aren't even getting tested, so we don't even know how many people have actually been infected with this, not shown any symptoms, and moved on with their lives. So they keep saying like the death to infection rate is like awful, but it's like you haven't tested half of the people that have probably gotten it. So how do you have accurate numbers of how like how they were saying at one point like 10% of the people getting it were dying, but yet nobody's getting tested for it except for severe cases. So all the people like me who had a mild case, and I don't even know if I ever had it, never got tested, moved on with my life, I didn't ever get tested. They'll never know if I actually got it. So I'm not part of that number of people that got contracted, but I might have had it. There's no way for them to know now until they do the like antibody test. I don't know. I feel like we should probably move on from this, but it's just kind of ridiculous. I don't know. I'm pretty fed up with it, and I think they just need to do what we got to do, because it just doesn't make any sense financially and socially and everything. The causes of this are just, the ramifications of this are just going to be awful. I feel like long term, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah, here's hoping moving forward that we can respond faster.
Yeah.
But
that's my 2 cents. If you have something else to say, please
down in the comments.
No. Please tell me I'm an idiot. I'd love to hear it.
I tell him that all the time. He does love it.
Yep.
It's a weird relationship.
What you got for us, Seth?
So I've got a couple questions. So I'm gonna open up
multiple choice.
No, they are right or wrong, but in your own opinion. So you're always right, unless I decide you're wrong. So those are the rules.
All right, what you got?
Rules.
So what album is your, like, the first one you remember just like loving, like this album is amazing?
Wait, like a photo album?
Yes,
like
a photo album. No, I talk about very few things: cars, video games, music. So
okay, so not a photo album, just to clarify.
No.
Okay.
So
soundtrack.
The soundtrack of your life.
Soundtracks are from movies, Patrick.
Okay, whatever.
Anyways, what you got? You need to think. Do you need
our
Jeopardy
favorite
music?
album of all time?
Just like no, like the first one. Like so, not like I mean the first one that you just like really liked. I'm not talking about and then years later another one came out that was better. Like just the first one that you just remember. All right, what you got?
Phobia by Breaking Benjamin.
Phobia. Okay. Breaking Benjamin's had some pretty strong albums. Dear Agony is probably one of my top favorite albums out there.
I was gonna say it was one of my lesser favorites.
No,
but
that one was perfect. So perfect.
I liked it, but yeah, I feel like the ones that you're saying, Will, the earlier ones were. But that's
to each their own. This is America. You're allowed to be wrong.
America. So you said Phobia by Breaking Bad.
Yes, sir.
Listen, this is such a hard one because I had so many bands with numerous songs, but I can't necessarily say that I love the whole album. The one that I think is clearest to me in my mind and memory, because I came from a super traditional Christian family, and I wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of music when I was younger, except for Christian music. So none of that counts because it would probably be like a Michael W. Smith, album that my mom made me listen to every day for
plus
like 10
one.
years.
Hey, that shit's fire, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still that great, but your opinion doesn't count because you said shit, and so they no longer care about your opinion.
Yeah,
because it's Michael W. Smith.
Once I started listening to music, I mainly listened to radio, and on radio, you only hear the big hits from bands. So like Blue October and Papa Roach and Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace. So I mean, those were probably the first bands I really listened to.
Music was
hey,
so
speaking
good
of,
back then.
second one real quick, while you're thinking.
Yeah, go for it.
A second close one to Phobia would be 1X by 3 Days Grace. Yeah,
I love I love those bands so much. Now my music taste has expanded so much that I can't necessarily say that they're like my favorite people to listen to all the time anymore. Like I don't just binge listen to them anymore, but I still have them on all my playlists. All the songs like that I really love, like Scars by Papa Roach. Like, I mean, dude, when I was playing basketball and I would listen to that song before I go play basketball, it was just great. It was just great music. But I would say probably an entire album where I felt like I liked every single song would be Minutes to Midnight by Linkin Park. And the reason I say that is that we went to the Nationals, and we listened to that all the time. And we listened to it from start to finish.
That was in my car.
And literally, I really do like every song on that album. Even the ones that were not as popular or nobody listened to, like Pieces or something. But the instrumental, how it built up and it was like basic and then got more complicated. It was a slow song.
It was beautifully put together, which is something music lacks nowadays.
And I think that might have been one of Linkin Park's greatest albums for the amount of people it touched.
I would put it is my favorite of theirs.
Yeah, but I mean,
second best.
I know so many people. Well, yeah, because Meteora and some of the other ones.
Hybrid Theory,
about.
boy.
Hybrid Theory and Meteora.
I put Meteora above Hybrid Theory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Hybrid Theory was actually the last album I had from Linkin Park, and my girlfriend at the time was so blown away that I didn't own it that she went out and bought it for me. But it was
CD?
the last.
Do people still do that? Do people still carry around the CDs?
I don't think so.
Yeah, as I remember driving. Tangent.
Remember the CD cases that your friends would have, and they'd be like, you'd fold it out, and you'd have like 52 CDs, and you'd be flipping through them and be like, "What are we gonna listen to on this car trip? Let's go." It was
always fun. I used to reach behind my seat and pull it out and be like, "Pick us a CD."
Yeah. So side topic. I used to hate music with a passion. I thought it was the dumbest thing and a waste of time. I know. I'm like, what's this, like 2000? I'm like 13 or 14 years old. Okay. So I don't really care about music all that much. My cousins, though, absolutely loved it. And they did that. They had a giant CD case they carry with them, and they would have the CDs in there. And they would listen to music all the time in the car with me. I didn't care for it much. But one day, I'm with my cousin, and I think we're listening to 102.1, which used to be The Edge, so it was like alternative rock.
That was my.
Yeah, the radio station no longer exists if you're in this
It
area
was
because it
It was a great
I think
one.
they sold the company.
Ever.
I
But
played a lot of Pearl Jam. Anyways.
yeah, and Breathe Into Me by Red came on.
Oh,
And
Red.
dude, it changed my life. It was
Mhm.
the coolest thing. And so what I did is I didn't have CDs. You know, I didn't have I had iTunes, but all the songs I had, they were ripped from my cousin's CDs.
Right.
So I didn't have any way, I didn't buy CDs. So I would go to YouTube. And this is back in the day when YouTube actually allowed people to upload full music
Yeah.
before
I
they
used to be able to get on there and
yeah,
find all
before
the
everything got
Yeah.
copywritten.
Yep.
And what I'd do is I would go on there and I'd search for Red, and I'd type in Breathe Into Me, and then it would autoplay the rest of the songs from that album
Mhm.
from other people that had uploaded it.
Yep.
And so I would just do that all the time.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Breathe Into Me by Red is kind of what got me into music.
Yeah, I actually used YouTube back in the day to expand my music because I was like Patrick, where I was not allowed to listen to much of anything for the longest time. Like I was in high school, and my parents finally said, "You know what? We don't care." And so I started listening to everything. But I use YouTube like because I would search songs that I really like and then let it autoplay, and I'd find it like, "Oh, who's this band?" And then I'd start looking at them. And yeah, so old YouTube was awesome. New YouTube is still great because we're on it, but
Yeah, right.
you know, the way it used to be was pretty cool.
See, and for me, you know, they were so against it, right? That I had headphones, and one Christmas I got this little like miniature radio that you would like push the dial on the side of it to find the channels, and it was like a little pocket one that you'd put. So at night, I would go and I'd put the headphones on, and then I would just sit there going to bed, and I really wouldn't go to bed, and I would listen to radio until like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I listened to 102.1 The Edge all the time. I can't remember the radio host I used to listen to. He was on 97.9 or 97.1 The Eagle.
Are
There
you
was this
talking about
host.
Russ Martin?
Yeah, Russ Martin. I would listen
Russ
to
Martin
his
show.
his
Yeah,
show
he's still
at
on.
night, and he would talk about all sorts of adult content that I had like never heard of. Like it just blew my mind, you know. Like I was like, what? And I think yeah that was when I really I remember I had a library card, right, and we lived like right next because I lived off Cravens Park in Green Oaks, and there's that library right there, right next to the airport, and so it was like literally a mile away, and I rented some Red Hot Chili Peppers CD online, you know, and had them like hold it for me.
Yeah.
Well, my mom she she
Oh.
found out that I had like put them on hold, and she went to the library before I did, and she told that lady put them back. And when she came home, she was like, "What the heck, Patrick? What are you trying to listen to? That is not the kind of music that I allow in my household and everything." And that's when I really got rebellious and just said F this. And
Yeah, that was the breaking point right there.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red
But
Hot Chili
did it-
Peppers. they're not even that-
Music can ruin your life.
Well,
Turn
hold
you
up,
into a
old
horrible
school
kid.
Chili Peppers is pretty good. Their new stuff is
I was never a fan.
I got an album of Corn. This
oh
was when I was 18. I got an
ooh.
album of Corn, and this was at this point my mom had kind of given up, you know, like where she really I was just too good at finding stuff that I wanted to do, so there's just no way for her to police it all. And I got in trouble because I never did my schoolwork. Like the last 2 years of school, like I did everything possible to not do my parents like were so mad. We've gotten so many fights over it. And and I got this, and I was in trouble all summer that last summer because I skipped all these history tests. I skipped like every history test, and there was like 30 of them for that year, and I didn't do any of them. And she finally found out that I hadn't done them. She was like, "You're grounded until you finish every single one." And she gave me all these like chores, and we're like, "Patrick, do this, this, and this, and I'm gonna make you paint the balcony." And I painted the balcony. I put headphones in. And I listened to Corn, and it was the album that it's like is so dark. It is so dark. The content of that album is so dark, and it got me in a really interesting place, I would say. But yeah, that was just like I don't know that's another album. Now that I'm saying that I liked a lot. I'd have to pull it up. I can't remember which album it is of Corns. They have too many, like 15 Corn albums.
All right, Seth, what you got? 'Cause I know we've been we've been talking for a little bit now, and I think we actually
I
forgot.
don't think we ever heard his.
We
He
didn't get
gave
your opinion.
input, but he never actually told us.
Yeah, what's yours, man?
So I can't remember, like, just in the timeline in my head, which one came first. So I'm gonna give you two. I think the first one was the All American Rejects album, "Move Along." But it is. I'm not sure. Like I said, the timeline in my head's not right, but I absolutely love that album. Every single song on it. Still have them on playlists. But yeah, it was one of the first quote unquote secular albums I ever had, and my parents did not know I had it for a while. I got it from two horrible influences in my life, Jonathan and Chris, and I love that album. The other one would be "Smile, It's the End of the World." It's a Hawk Nelson album, which they are a rock Christian. They're the type of music I managed to get away with before I was allowed to listen to other stuff, because they are Christian, but it's not really in their music. But yeah, I absolutely love that one too.
Oh, I found the.
What is it? What's the name?
It's "See You on the Other Side," and it has like "Coming Undone" and freaking Tearjerker, "Twisted Transistor." I don't know. The Tearjerker one is so good, dude. Not right now, but go listen to it after this. I'm telling you.
Nope, we'll listen to it right now, guys.
Such a deep, dark song.
Everyone's listening to it right now. So yeah, those are those. So let's go with a superhero theme. So what villain do you like feel for? You just like put yourself in their shoes and like, all right, I see. Like, you got any of those from, obviously Marvel or Justice League? Anything goes.
I got mine, but I went first last time. Pat, do you or Seth have an answer?
I feel like I have one, but I feel like it's yours. Well,
I mean, mine's probably a basic answer too. So,
well, no, you guys go ahead then.
I can
I'll hold on.
and take it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go because I feel like I could, in a different world, I could be the Joker. So I'm going with the Joker though, like, cause society just, it's a shit place, and it just pushed him over the edge. It's not one of those like most villains are like, I just want, power and stuff. He's just like, I don't like this place. It's all screwed up. What I do does not matter. So like it's more of a, lack of consequences in his head because society's just screwed him up, especially with the new Joker movie. It's more, it follows that more, but the Dark Knight Joker had that same type of feel to it. But it's just like everything, it's just, whatever, I don't care anymore. I'm going to be a villain. Like that's the vibe I get from him. And there are some days where I'm just like, maybe I should just be a villain. But, we stay on this side of the law. Yeah. I won't let you know what side I'm on, but I'm staying here.
Damn it! You kind of took mine because that's the first one that came to my head.
Yeah. No.
And specifically because of this last movie they came out with. Because I always vibed with the Joker. I love the Joker. When we saw The Dark Knight, oh my god, like, I remember when we went and saw it in theaters. We saw it the second day it came out. It was completely packed. We were the last two tickets to get. The last three tickets. Me, Justin, and Andrew went and saw it together.
How long did you have to wait in line to go see it?
Oh, we didn't have to wait in line because we were late. So, so like when we got in there, dude, like literally the entire theater was full already. But we watched that movie, and Justin made Joker impressions and talked like him and was like obsessed with the dude. I thought
he actually has a pretty good Heath Ledger Joker voice.
Yeah. And when I saw this newest movie that came out and the way they made it and his like backstory and like how people treated him and just like he gets movie. You're just like,
Yeah.
damn, bro. And then when he finally snaps at the end, like he's killing all these people, but for some reason, it's like I literally was like, good for you, bro. You know, like F those people. And I'm, you know, and I felt like kind of screwed up for that. Like that's not right what he's doing, you know. But they like terrorize him, and I'm like, if that happened to me, I guess I could understand literally going insane like that, because that's kind of what happens. He
Mm.
like snaps mid
Yep.
and then it's like over. There's nothing you can do to redeem him back or get him back. But I really want to think of another one. I'll let Will go. Try and think of something.
Can I just say that it is incredibly nice that movie theaters allow you to reserve your seats now,
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry about waiting in line or getting there late and then not being able to sit where you want. Yeah,
I
that's
mean
nice.
that was kind of the part of the experience though. Like if you just suck, then you're gonna end up in the front row in the left corner, being like, "No."
Yeah, no, that's awful.
It's part of the It's part of the experience.
Everyone always talks about front row seats, right? not at movie theaters. Those are like the worst seats you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no.
I've never understood that.
My neck has a crick in it after that. You know.
Why do those seats exist? No one
I don't
wants
know.
them.
Because they make money.
Theaters that-
People still buy them, so they make money. If
But
nobody ever bought them, they probably would just take them out. They're like, you know what, this whole section gone.
Wouldn't it make more sense though to build the room where the seats are further back?
Well, then you got more square footage you got to pay for. Right. And we're in the money making business. Cram as many people in a smaller room while still keeping, comfortable enough and good sound acoustics. That's all that matters.
Will, do you want me to go again? Because I thought of another one.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I can wait.
That I'm gonna take yours.
No, I don't think you will. But go ahead.
From X-Men, like Magneto.
Magneto.
That's what I had. Listen. Okay.
Whoa.
It's one of those.
Damn it.
The whole X-Men series. It's one of those few. Well, okay. There's actually two now. Now that I'm thinking about it, going off of the same thing, when they did Civil War on the Avengers, and they had the two sides fighting each other.
Yeah, but they weren't really villains though. Like they weren't classified as a villain. Like what?
Bucky was kind of.
You're talking about Winter Soldier?
Yeah,
he's kind of more of an anti-hero though.
And I actually kind of felt sorry for the dude a little bit, even though like it was screwed up, and I got each side. But anyways, we're gonna go back to Magneto. That's a whole different kind of
what
form.
You got here?
We're stealing back up. Okay, we're stealing it back up. We can't talk about that. It'll go on forever. Magneto and his cause. When you look at how how they were treated throughout all the movies and how everybody hated the mutants so bad, I think it was in 3, or I don't even know. There's been so many X-Men movies. I can't remember. But there's a point where like he actually like F's it all up, and they're like they make that drug that takes your powers away, and they're like injecting it in all these.
Yeah, that's the third movie.
Yeah, and I really actually felt that even though he was like destroying cities and like going crazy, that like he was kind of in the right there, because it was like they were totally just destroying these guys, and it's like most of them weren't even up to that bad of stuff. Like it wasn't like they were like destroying the world.
I mean, I can't say that if I was a mutant in that world, I wouldn't be on his side, on his team.
Yeah. I mean, I just like, I just think the way he goes about it and everything, like he's like, people can't treat me like that. It's not right that they're treating us like that. It's not right that they're treating us subhuman and that they're trying to like eradicate us and all that. And he's like, so I'm going to fight back, instead of like Xavier, who was like, well, I'm going to try and work with them. I'm going to try and work with them and police all the mutants and do all this stuff. And it was like, but they're not really trying to be your friend the whole time. They're still kind of trying to screw the X-Men over, even though they're using the X-Men. So it was just a bunch of interesting.
I think.
Hey, Seth,
froze?
I think we lost you.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he did freeze.
I'm back. Yeah, I didn't even notice myself at first. Like, I was just like,
Want to add to that, Will? I feel bad I took it from you. You know.
No, you're good. Seth, you still connecting?
no, I'm here. It just froze for some reason. Everything else was working.
It's still
I-
showing a little like circle, like we can't see your video.
Oh well, I'm capturing it, so
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well,
Okay,
then,
well then that's fine. That's actually a benefit for us, so we don't have to worry about looking at you the rest of the stream.
I look.
now you feel better about your own faces, you beardless bitches.
All right, so so Pat took my answer. I was gonna say Magneto. Reason being is he's Jewish. He grows up during World War II. His parents and him they're separated, thrown in concentration camps. So his entire life he's been oppressed, right? He grows up and the world hates his kind. They hate his powers. They hate everything that a mutant is. And he's tired. He's tired of defending them. He's tired of standing up for them when they constantly berate him, attack him, and want to prison him because he has powers and he's different, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So his entire life he grows up with this hatred that starts to build for humans because they treat mutants as second rate. And so his cause is he's done standing up for them, he's done fighting for them. If all they're going to do is hate them, being the mutants, and think of them less because they're different. So his cause is basically, I've had enough. I'm done fighting your wars. I'm done essentially, risking my life for nothing. So that's why I would choose Magneto because, like I said, he's not purely evil. He's never come across as someone that's strictly out to better himself. He just
Right.
wants to see mutants be treated equally.
And he
And
kind
if
of wants justice served. So
yeah,
there's a
and if
little bit
that
of a revenge
means
aspect.
that they have to fight to protect themselves, then that's something that he's willing to do.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
I know. I definitely get that standpoint. So
That was good.
Yes. Also, Ian McKellen and who's the guy in the newer movies?
Oh, I forget his name.
I am
have to look this
bad.
up.
The younger.
I am bad with actors
Ian
and
McKellen though
actresses.
plays him in the original X-Men movies as the older X-Men. And hang on.
Yeah, I'm good with remembering people's faces and where I saw them and why I saw them, but names I'm so bad with.
I just never pay attention to their names for the most part. You got to be like an A-list.
Michael
Somebody-
Fassbender.
Yeah.
He's
never.
really fast at bending stuff.
Yeah,
So
Michael
fast.
Fassbender and Ian McKellen both killed it. Same thing with Sir Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy. Both. I guess all four actors played the role
On a
perfectly.
serious
So.
note, it is kind of disappointing that when they made the Avatar: The Last Airbender, they didn't use Fassbender. I think that would have really
I think you're stretching. All right, Seth, what's the next question you got for us?
So we're gonna go serious a little bit. So
Oh.
get ready, put on your hats, whatever you need to do.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I have a hat over here.
Oh, then you're not
Can
gonna
you
be
give me a second?
serious enough. So is cereal a soup?
I'm sorry, what?
Is cereal a soup?
No.
No, why not?
Why not?
not? Why not?
Wait, what? Okay, can we get the definition of soup?
Oh.
Or is that cheating?
I mean, if you want to look, what you do on your other monitor is up to you.
I would say
I'm
because
thinking,
soup
give
is
me one
typically
second.
it's a broth with a broth base,
Okay.
and it typically has a meat or a vegetable in it. Cereal has milk and sugary sweets, essentially.
Okay. So it is a some sort of something then, covered in a liquid and then eaten with a spoon.
No.
Yeah, but I
because
mean, you
I'm
could
looking
say the
at
same with ice cream,
definition
right?
Right now.
Ice cream is not some sort of something covered in a liquid. Or at least you're eating your ice cream wrong.
No, I'm saying though, like, okay, so ice cream essentially, because it's milk based, is a frozen milk, and you can have toppings cereal on it.
You are
So
stretching so hard right now.
No.
No, it's not the same thing. Anyways, what you got, Patrick? What's that definition?
It says a liquid food, especially with a meat, fish, or vegetable stock, as a
So
base
the word
and often
especially.
containing pieces of solid food.
So a liquid food containing pieces of solid food.
Yeah, so technically it does say especially, which means I guess
Wait, Seth. Ice
that
is,
means
ice
that
is a
means
solid,
more
right?
generally. Do what?
Ice is a solid, isn't it?
Yes, ice is a solid.
Okay, so then what you're saying is a glass of water with ice is considered
it's a
soup.
soup. Yeah, God damn it, it is, man.
Sure.
What the hell?
Sure.
What are you talking
Falling under
about?
that definition.
That sounds like you're stretching now.
No, I mean following that definition. So I mean,
Oh, I don't know, man.
I say it's got to be. Will says it's not.
No.
So, what you got, Patrick?
Because cereal is like it's with a milk substance and then something else put in it. So I don't think it falls into the definition of a soup, which is something that.
So you're telling me.
I
You're
think
telling me
because
when they make
that's
soup, it just
not-
comes like
yeah.
it is. They don't mix things together.
Well, they mix things
Said
together,
hard
like,
and
made
liquid
out
stuff.
of a meat or vegetable stock. Like, I think that's the big difference here.
Well, yeah, but your definition, what
I mean,
I was
I would
honestly
say
expecting you to look up the definition and it to disprove me, but your definition was worded in a way that, so.
But no, because it says a liquid food. Cereal isn't a liquid food because it can't have just milk and it be cereal. You can have cereal and not put milk in it and it still be cereal. Gotcha. I got it. Boom.
What?
You can take cereal, put it in a bowl, and eat the cereal. You're still eating cereal.
You are not eating cereal. You are just a uncivilized human being.
No. Don't need to eat the liquid in order to eat cereal, but you
that's
do
true.
need liquid in order to have a soup. So technically, cereal is its own general category.
Yeah.
I'm going with Will.
No. People do not eat. You're going the wrong way, Will.
Oh, the wrong way.
Oh, wait,
Will.
hold up.
Man.
You do-
My camera's backwards, okay?
Anyways, if we,
Checking up on you.
whatever, if you want to do what you do, then you do what you do.
Let us know in the comments who's right, Patrick and I or Seth.
Who's right? The two beardless people or the bearded person?
You just lost that argument. You just lost that argument.
The bearded guys with chest hair. Who are you gonna side with? Chest hair or the bearded guy? Okay. I think there is obviously a right choice here, and it's not the other choice.
All right. So, anyways, we'll move on. You can let us know in the comments that I was right. I appreciate it. Then also, so next, what is, and keep it relatively okay,
Wait,
Patrick.
Is this another serious question?
No, not really. None of them are. But keep it relatively okay, Patrick. What is your go-to insult? Like you're just, and by insult I mean just like you're fed up with this person, you're done with this argument, just like whatever, I don't care. This is
Oh, I mean, because what you're thinking I'm gonna say is.
I don't know what you're gonna say. I just know what I have to mute all the time.
I know that I say your mom jokes all the time, but that's not really when I'm actually, like, you're saying when I actually argue or I'm really trying to.
Yeah, you're just like done with somebody. Like you've written them off now. Like, goodbye.
I'm like one of those people where, you know me, I'll argue in circles for forever. So really,
with no destination in sight.
I'm gonna prove the point unless they come up with some good points, which there have been people that I have argued with where it's like we get to a point where it's like, yeah, okay, I think we've said our piece. There's not like really we have covered it all. But I will argue for a long time before we get to that point, depending on what it is we're talking about. Now, this is not something where it's like, your feelings, my feelings. That's a whole different argument. But I'm talking like if we're talking about a subject that actually has subject matter, I can argue for a long time on things about like skill-based matchmaking. I can give you all sorts of, we could go on and on. We could argue for hours on that, really. But if I'm done with you, like really done with you, I would say for me, I'm a way too nice, and I really don't go to that level where I like insult people on a really offensive manner, right? Like this, like we've lived with each other for a long time, been roommates, been friends. Will's been friends with me. I don't really attack people personally often. Like I don't think there's one thing that I would go to. I would say that if I'm really done with an argument, then like there's silence because I'm just like gone. I'll just disappear. And if I know that you're one of those people that argues and they're just there to argue, not because they actually want to hear any truth or anything, I basically like if I'll say something, I'll say my piece and then I just won't argue back. So like there's specific people I'm talking about like on Facebook right now that they always have something dumb to say. So sometimes I feel like it's my God-given duty to like just, lay down a little bit of law. Like just be like, you idiot, but in a nice way and be like, here's what I believe. And then when they comment back, I just never comment back. I never say anything. And it's not because I really want to be rude to them or anything, but it's like I just don't see any healthy dialogue coming from this past that. I just wanted to let you know that I disagree with you, and that's it.
Right.
And I move on. But I don't really, I don't try to insult people. If I'm insulting you, it's all out of fun and it's not to be taken seriously. Like if I use your mom joke, it's because you set yourself up where I have to. It's my duty to your mom. You know what I'm saying? If you
all right. Well, so
good, I have to.
I mean, fair enough. So you don't really have one. That's cool. That's cool. So what you got, Will? You come up with anything?
I mean, the best I got is gonna be something similar to "screw you," but it's similar to Patrick in the way that I don't typically have arguments with people, more debates, I guess, more than anything if it's friends. But I typically don't get into really serious arguments with people. Thing with arguing with someone is you're going to be brought down to their level and then beaten with experience. Arguing about something where you both have differing opinions on it, their opinion's not going to change. You're not going to change their opinion, and they're not going to change yours. So, arguing and getting incredibly serious and upset about something is a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I don't decide to get into. So I don't really have anything offensive
Okay.
to say. And similar to what Patrick said, if it's something that I feel like, okay, this isn't going anywhere, I'll just walk away.
Now later on,
well,
I
mean,
like,
so.
But I won't say it to their face usually.
Yeah, well, so I don't know if you guys took this the way that I meant for it to be, because it's not an argument. I mean, in an argument is an argument. You're right or you're wrong, or no one comes to a conclusion. It's whenever you just have somebody who is, for me, I am done with this person. Like I said, I'll talk, like, that's an argument is an argument. I don't handle it like that. But whenever you run into somebody who's just, I don't know, in different situations I've done, like super immature, or they, act like they're better than you, and that kind of stuff. And you're just like, you know what, whatever. I'll usually throw out a little insult and then go. And my opinion, the best insult you can throw out there.
What? Is what?
Best insult you can throw out there is something that they don't understand. So something that is
trigonometry. You throw them with some trigonometry.
No, just like smarter than them, it goes straight over their head. That's my favorite go-to type of insult. One of the main things I do or I say when somebody falls into that predicament is I call them bud or buddy or kid, just because it's, I no longer want to talk to you. I'm not taking you seriously anymore. But yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Buddy's like an endearing term for me.
Yeah, it's used in an ironic way, which makes me super hipster. So,
You're like, okay, buddy.
I'll just be like, all right, bud.
Oh, bud. Okay, yeah, I could see. I feel like it's a lot of how your face.
Yeah, but
Huh. I just can't say that. I mean, if I get petty like that, I have before. I mean, I have said some insulting things to people, but I don't have like one thing I say. And if I do, like if you get me to argue with you on that level, which does not happen often, or you piss me off to that level, I mean, I'm usually gonna drop truth bombs that are just straight up fucking vicious. I'm sorry. You're saying this, and that, but every day you do this, and that. Are you for real right now? Or really? Oh, really? We're gonna go there. I'm probably just gonna drop like actual truth bombs of things that I see that are hypocritical about how they live and what they say, and just be dirty as hell and just poke them where it hurts and then walk away. And then I literally will give them the silent treatment. I will not respond. I won't respond to your texts. I'll just.
I mean, so yeah, I guess this is where we differ a lot, just because like I won't do that to people. Like I won't argue with someone for real unless it's somebody I actually care about. Other people, I don't care about their opinions. If someone I just met or I've known for a month or something, I don't care about their opinions. If they differ from me, I'll just say okay, cool, whatever. And, you think about what you think about. I'll think about what I think about.
Yeah.
The only time I'll actually argue with somebody is if it's someone I care about, and I'm just like like even if it's something that I am firm against, and they post the opposite, so like they have one opinion, and I'm for sure that they are wrong, I don't agree with at all, I still won't argue it because I don't know the person, I don't care. And so I throw insults to people who just, and they're always just small and petty. They just make me laugh on the inside. And that's to people I don't care. I don't insult people I care about, and I don't argue with people I don't care about. So.
Yeah, food for thought.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I'm in turmoil here. Honestly, don't take my advice for real. You had that thing pop up.
Oh.
I probably handle it in a bad way.
Yeah. Sorry here. Yeah.
Silent treatment really is probably not the best option, guys. But sometimes, you just need space. And the best way for me is I found if somebody just frustrates me constantly and pisses me off on that level, I just bye. And that way I get the space from them. And eventually I usually get good with them again, and I don't. And I move on with my life, and I don't have a problem with them. But I need that space for a good amount of time to like get a breath from you. And I'll come back in.
Cool.
I got a topic real quick. UFC 249, I guess, is finally happening. Next Saturday night. Originally, it was supposed to happen on the 18th of April between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson. So, brief history for those not aware. Khabib and Tony have actually been scheduled to fight 4 times prior to that, and every time something would happen, and so it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And so, obviously, with the virus happening, they had actually canceled the fight because April 18th it was supposed to be Tony Ferguson and a guy named Gaethje. They were supposed to fight because Khabib got stuck in Dagestan with the travel restrictions. So Gaethje and Ferguson are now scheduled to fight next Saturday night. And
so Khabib's still not going to fight in it?
No, he can't. He's still, I think, over in Dagestan with the restrictions, so he can't go anywhere. What's going to happen is, so originally Khabib and Ferguson were going to fight for the lightweight belt. And now I guess what's going to happen is Khabib will fight the winner of this fight later in the year for the lightweight belt, because Khabib is currently the champion. So eventually we'll get there, but I guess this is 5 times now that they haven't fought. So
they just now want to fight each other? Is that what I'm getting from this? Has anybody called them out on it and been like, "Really, guys? Are you just afraid to fight each other? What's going on here?"
I don't know. They don't like each other. That's all I know. They have a serious
fight and prove to one or the other who's the best, and we can move on with our lives.
Yeah, it'll be interesting though. I know the obviously so they're gonna be actually fighting in Florida the first time. I don't know if it's the actual
I'm
first time. I
sorry.
think it's the first time they've actually fought in Florida because typically they fight in like Las
In
Vegas.
Grand, yeah.
Yeah, maybe like Las Vegas or Los Angeles somewhere. They're gonna fight in front of an
Are
empty
they going to
crowd.
sell actual tickets though
No,
for this?
I
Or
don't think
no?
so.
It's just going to be like televised and
I
nobody
think
can
it.
be there, or what? That
Yeah,
seems
as
so
far as
weird,
I'm
dude.
aware, they don't have tickets being sold.
Be like a practice session. They'll have like their coaches and be like, "Yeah, go Tommy, yeah." Nothing else going on in the whole place. That'll be weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel
no.
about that.
I don't
That's
think it's gonna
so
be
surprising.
as good a fight as it would have been Khabib versus Ferguson, just
Yeah.
because both are pretty good fighters, and they both bring a lot, I think, to the table. And with the history, obviously, behind the two of them, it brings an extra depth of.
But they're not even fighting.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying though, with it constantly being delayed or canceled, it
So
it,
why
it has that build up.
so why even tune into UFC 249 when the people that are fighting aren't the people that we wanted to see fight, and the real fight isn't even going to happen for like 6-7 more months?
Because Ferguson's gonna kick Gaethje's ass and then fight Khabib later in the year.
So the original one was Ferguson and Khabib. So you're
Mhm.
hoping that Ferguson's just going to beat Gaethje, but then okay. So if Gaethje whoops his butt and somehow wins,
Then
then
it'll be
it's
Gaethje
gonna be
versus Khabib.
Gaethje and Khabib, and we're still not gonna have the Ferguson and Khabib fight that everybody
Nope.
wanted for 5 times. Okay.
Yeah. But no, that's it's interesting because I think UFC is actually one of the few sports I wouldn't want to be there live, just because the angles, the audience sits with where it is in relation to the ring. I think the majority of the seats, with them being level, you're not going to get that great of a view. A lot of sporting events you go to, it's fun.
Suck.
Regardless of where you sit, you can still see the playing arena, right? Whether it's basketball, football, baseball, soccer, regardless of where you sit, you're going to see most of the action. But I feel like UFC is one of those events I think I'd rather watch. Plus, the tickets for the UFC events are just ridiculously
I don't know.
expensive,
Have you
even
been
for
to the
nosebleed.
Cowboy Stadium?
Mm-hmm.
You sat in the nosebleed section of the Cowboy Stadium?
No, I had decent
'Cause
seats.
you sit up at the nosebleed sections, bro. You might as well have just stayed home because you're watching the jumbotron because it's so far away from the actual field. They're like little ants.
Hey, I'd gone with my my sister and my
Experience.
And
I got
that's
my
why
sister and dad earlier this year to watch the Packers play.
and
Unfortunately,
you
the
got
Green
like
Bay
actual good
Packers won.
seats.
Yeah, we had pretty good seats. I think it was like lower third or upper second deck. I think it was like 450 a piece. But they were really good seats.
Well, okay, if you go to something like that and you're close up for sure, but I feel like some of the like even with baseball, like if you go and sit up in the nosebleeds, there's no point in going. Why don't you just stay home, drink beer with
Yeah,
your
but I mean, if
buddies,
you're
The
sitting,
experience.
if you're going to the nosebleeds for a Rangers game, though, I mean that's what $12,
you're
$13 a
you're
piece.
just going to smoke some weed, drink some beer, get effed up and watch them bat away.
No.
Most of the people I know that went and got nosebleeds, that's like what they were about. Oh,
Yeah, but like I was saying, I mean the nosebleeds for
nobody's
those
up there.
games, they cost under $20.
Yeah.
The nosebleeds at like a UFC event, probably close to 1,000.
Oh hell no. I'd Cohen.
That's
I'm
what I'm
good.
saying.
I'm gonna go copy it. No, okay, I'm not saying that.
Nope. Arr.
I'll go find it online somewhere legally and watch it for sure.
Not actual advice.
Not
Oh,
actually.
it popped up. It popped up.
You guys got anything else?
No, I think that's a wrap.
I think
Cool.
we're good.
Outro time, I guess. Pat, I'll take over and do the outro because
Okay.
the intro was such a slam dunk. Thanks for tuning in, watching another episode.
Yeah,
of
thank you,
us
thank you,
just
thank you.
Talk. So we continue. We'll say it every week, but we do really appreciate
Oh, yeah,
the
for
support
sure.
you guys are showing.
For sure.
So a few things. The pre-show that we had last week, we hope you guys enjoyed. Just a little behind-the-scenes look of what we do before we go live. We've got some other things kind of planned. maybe a post show, possibly, but nothing has been confirmed yet.
Post show.
Yeah. Next week, I think we are planning on possibly having a guest. I can't say yes or no, but I think that is what we're trying to do.
It's a
So
yes.
get ready for that.
Unless something crazy happens that like our schedules like crazy shifts for this next Sunday, we will have a guest.
Yeah, so that's episode 8 next week. Like I said, just get ready for that. Should be interesting. Episode 10, we got something really big happening. So that'll be coming up soon. So just make sure that you guys are tuning in each week to keep updated.
As always, we appreciate you watching. Please use the comments to express your opinions on anything we talked about.
Mainly whether me or Will's shirt is better and who looks better in their shirt.
I can just keep running.
Probably some. Okay, we're gonna call it here.
Followed by that Seth's wrong. Don't put anything else in there, but Seth was wrong on the soup thing. Okay, those are the only 2 things you can comment about on this video.
Yeah, and we're 5 away right now from 50 subs. So if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you consider at least subscribing if you enjoy the content. If you don't, that's cool. Just watch. We just want to make you guys content that you enjoy watching. So if you subscribe, it makes it easier though to keep track of our videos.
Yes.
Through that.
Sounds like a plan, Sam.
All right, I guess we got an outro card, Seth.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and kick it, boy.
So, see y'all later.
Episode 7.